जसो जमुना तीर बनचारी जमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीर बनचारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण जय गौरनीताय जय कृष्ण बलराम ललिता विशाखा जय राधे श्याम प्रभुपाद 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 कृपा जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतस्य श्रीमत् His Divine Grace अभय चरणा अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीपीटी फाउंडर आचार्य डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपी गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। गंगा मैया की जय। जमुना मैया की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। गौर निताय की जय। राधा श्याम सुंदर ललिता विशाखा देवी की जय। All glory to assembly of devotees. All glory to assembly of devotees. All glory to assembly of devotees. भगवत वाणी श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। गीता गंगा च गायत्री गोविंदेति हृदय स्थिते चतुर्गकार संयुक्ते पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते। Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, 10th chapter, the opulence of the Absolute. Today, text 17. Kathaṁ vidyām ahaṁ yogiṁs tvām sadā paricintayan keṣu keṣu ca bhāveṣu cintyo asī bhagavan mayā kathaṁ vidyām ahaṁ yogiṁs tvām sadā paricintayan keṣu keṣu ca bhāveṣu cintyo asī bhagavan mayā kathaṁ vidyām ahaṁ yogiṁs tvām sadā paricintayan keṣu keṣu ca bhāveṣu cintyo asī bhagavan mayā kathaṁ vidyām ahaṁ yogiṁs tvām sadā paricintayan keṣu keṣu ca bhāveṣu cintyo asī bhagavan mayā keṣu ca bhāveṣu cintyo asī bhagavan mayā cintyo asī bhagavan mayā katham vidyām aham yogin tvām sadā paricintayan keṣu keṣu ca bhāveṣu cintyo bhagavan mayā kathaṁ vidyām aham yogiṁs tvām sadā paricintayan keṣu keṣu ca bhāveṣu cintyaḥ bhagavan mayā kathaṁ vidyām aham yogin tvām sadā paricintayan keṣu keṣu ca bhāveṣu cintyaḥ bhagavan mayā. Word meaning: katham, how, vidyām aham, shall I know, yogin, O Supreme Mystic, tvām, you, sadā, always, paricintayan, thinking of, keṣu, in which, keṣu, in which, ca, also, bhāveṣu, natures, cintyaḥ, you are to be remembered, bhagavan, O Supreme, mayā, by me. Translation and purport by Divine Grace Abhayacharana Aravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered? O Supreme Personality of Godhead. Please repeat. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered? O Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. As it is stated in the previous chapter, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is covered by his yoga-māyā. Only surrendered souls and devotees can see him. Now Arjuna is convinced that his friend Krishna is the Supreme Godhead. But he wants to know the general process by which the all-pervading Lord can be understood by the common man. Common man, including the demons and atheists, cannot know Krishna because he is guarded by his yoga-māyā energy. Again, these questions are asked by Arjuna for their benefit. The superior devotee is concerned not only for his own understanding, but for the understanding of all mankind. So Arjuna, out of his mercy, because he is a Vaishnava, a devotee is opening for the common man the understanding of the all-pervasiveness of the Supreme Lord. He addressed Krishna specifically as yogin, because Śrī Kṛṣṇa is the master of yoga-māyā energy, by which he is covered and uncovered to the common man. The common man who has no love for Krishna cannot always think of Krishna. Therefore, he has to think materially. Arjuna is considering the mode of thinking of the materialistic persons of this world. The word keṣu keṣu ca bhāveṣu refers to material nature. The word bhāva means physical things. Because materialists cannot understand Krishna spiritually, they are advised to concentrate the mind on physical things and try to see how Krishna is manifested by physical representations. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakkhurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Śrī Guruve Namaha. Śrī Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Jana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Sopadantikam Bande ahaṁ Śrī Guru Śrī Juta Padakamalam Śrī Gurun Vaishnavamscha Śrī Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Śrī Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Śrī Visakhanitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratise Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Śrī Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Kathaṁ vidyām ahaṁ yogiṁs tvām sadā paricintayan keṣu keṣu bhāveṣu cintyo bhagavan mayā. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you, and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? So this chapter is entitled The Opulence of the Absolute. And this chapter from verse 8 to 11, 8, 9, 10, 11, 4 verses. This is famous as Chatusloki Gita, like Chatusloki Bhagavat in second canto. Here is Chatusloki Gita, means the essence of a whole Bhagavad Gita is given in these 4 verses. It is said that Krishna told that to Arjuna, O Arjuna, before I am giving this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to you, I gave this Bhagavad Gita knowledge to Sun God Vivasvana. Vivasvane manavo praho manu ikhyako abravit in the 4th chapter Gita. So Krishna told that I am second time I am repeating it to give, but the acharyas, they mentioned that when Krishna was speaking to Vivasvana, he spoke these 4 verses originally. Verse 10:8, 10:9, 10 and 10:11. The 4 verses contain whole Bhagavad Gita. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And verse 8, Krishna told that everything emanates from him, and he is ahaṁ sarvasya prabhava mat, and everything emanates from him, and he is the cause of all causes. And devotees, knowing this truth, they are always engaged in pure devotional service. Second verse he told, in verse 9, Krishna told what was the qualities of his devotees. Who is a devotee? मत्सीत मद्गत प्राण बोधयंत परस्परम कथयन्तश्च माम नित्यम तुष्यन्ति च रमन्ति च. The devotees of Lord, their mind is always fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna, Matchita, and their whole life is they sacrifice for the service of Krishna. Madgata prana. And whenever they, at time they met each other, they only talk about Krishna. Bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam. 24 hours they always engaged in the pure devotional service of Krishna. Then 10th verse, Krishna told, how can one come to me? Tesam satata juktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam jena mam upayanti te. If someone is engaged in my devotional service, then from within I give the intelligence how he will come, how someone can come to Krishna. Just like you see the sun in the sky, not with other light, only with the help of the sunshine we can see the sun. Similarly, Krishna could be understood only by mercy of Krishna. Then that's why then Krishna told, my devotees never remain in ignorance. In 11th verse, my devotees never remain in ignorance, and from within I illuminate them with transcendental knowledge. But here is Arjuna is making question, asking questions specifically for the general or common people. As Prabhupada wrote in Purport, because Vaishnava is always paradukhe dukhi. Just like we see Narada Muni, he was a liberated soul. He was a pure devotee, but he was thinking about Murgari, thinking about Dasyu Ratnakar, think many other fallen souls, how they could deliver. Same thing is for Arjuna. Arjuna is a pure devotee. He knows that he is, doubt that by Krishna's mercy, he will mercy he is performing, continuing his pure devotional service. But what will happen to the general public? How the general public will do pure devotional service? How can they please Krishna? Because in a Srimad Bhagavatam we see in 10th canto, 1st chapter, 4th verse, Parikshit Maharaj telling, Nibrita tarsai upagiyamanat bhavau swadhi swatra manobhiramat ka uttama sloka gunanubadat vyupuman virajeta vina pasugnat. So Parikshit Maharaj telling, Nibrita tarsai upagiyamana. Who can always chant the glories of Krishna, or who can always engage in pure devotional service? Only such a person who is Nibrita tarsai, who has no further material desires, who has conquered his senses, who is a Goswami. He can always chant and hear and remember Krishna. Nibrita tarsai, this is only the Goswamis, the pure devotees, they can always engage in pure devotional service. This is the medicine for the bhavausati, this is the medicine, those who are in this material world and a cycle of birth and death. When they engaged in always chanting and hearing and remembering Krishna, that is the medicine for them. But those who are pasukna, those who are meat eaters, or even more degraded peoples, Mayavadis, Sunyavadis, those who are such peoples, they have no desire to glorify Lord Krishna. They are simply blasphemers and they criticize the devotees. What will happen to them? How can they be delivered? That they are called Atmaghatis. That even Narottam Das Thakur used to say, मनुष्य जन्म लभिया राधा कृष्ण ना भजिया जानिया सुनिया विष खाइनु. If someone in this human form of life, his only duty is to glorify Krishna, Radha Krishna, but if he is not glorifying Krishna, not engaged in devotional service, then he is knowingly drinking poison. He is Atmaghati. Such a people is known as they committing suicide himself, the spiritual cause, suicide. So that's why Arjuna is asking for these questions, this bhāveṣu, speaking to Arjuna specifically for the benefit of the entire humanity, for the general populace. How they can come to the point of understanding that Krishna is a cause of all causes. They are not believing in the form of Krishna. We are believe there is many impersonalists. They don't believe that this particular form, the supreme truth has a form. This disease of the Mayavadis and Sunyavadis. That's why Prabhupada in his Pranam Mantra, Nirbhisesa Sunyavadi Paschata Desa Tarini. He is against these things. But unfortunately many people are in this category. They are not believing in Krishna. Janma karma chame divyam. Krishna told Janma karma chame divyam evang javeti tattvataha tyaktva deham punar janma naiti mameti. So Arjuna. If someone could understand this, his appearance and his pastimes, his activities, Krishna's activities, how can you understand that? If you believe that Krishna is a person, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, but the general, those who are such people, even did not believe about the form of Supreme Personality of Godhead. We told that Krishna is his form. He is known as Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. They don't believe. But they have certain faith about the Supreme Truth. Really, he is all-pervasive nature or his power, they believe. That some power is there and he is controlling everything. That they believe. But they don't believe in the particular form of the Supreme Lord. So that's why, how these people could understand? How they will ultimately come to the shelter of the Supreme Truth. Arjuna is very, very much concerned about those peoples. The common peoples, generally the common peoples, most of the people they are in that category. They could not know what to do, what not to do. They are in doubt. So that's why, being a devotee like Narada Muni, he was thinking about Murgari, what will happen to this Mugaru, what will happen to this Ashwaratnakara, and then concerned so many times. Similarly, Arjuna is also thinking these innocent peoples. So those who are not believing in the form of the Supreme Lord, then they can see how can they realize the existence of God in different opulence. His energies are spread everywhere. And how can they realize it, that there is someone is supreme controller. So that's why the chapter also describe about the vibhuti, different opulences. Generally we know that Supreme Personality has six opulences. Aisarjasya, Samagrasya, Birjasya, Jasasa, Śriya, Jnana, Vairagyam, Channaiti Bhagagana. He is Bhagavan or Supreme Personality Godhead. He has these six opulences in complete. No one is more opulent than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Power or strength, Birjasya, Jasaha in fame, Śriya in beauty, and Jasasa Śriya, Jnana in knowledge, and in Vairagya, detachment. He is in topmost position. So this is in one way, this is the opulence of Krishna. but when you spread this opulence in everywhere in this material world, so that's why this Vibhuti Yoga, Krishna is told, whatever I described in this chapter about my opulences, this is only one fragment of my opulences. That's why it is described like, among the demons, I am Prahlad. Prahlad, Daityanang Prahlad Chasmi. Among all the trees, I am Aswastha tree. Among the demigods, I am Indra. Among Pandavas, I am Arjuna. How one can meditate his mind in Krishna? Krishna gave himself this chapter different examples. Even if you're drinking a glass of water, you will think the taste in water is Krishna. In an impersonal way, one can still believe that Krishna is there. Drinking water, by drinking water, you can also remember Krishna, that, oh, this taste of this water is Krishna. In this way, in this chapter, these opulences are given in detail. Not detail, Krishna is telling just why I give very little example. So, that's why Arjuna is asking this question, in this particular verse 17, that, O Krishna Supreme Majestic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered? O Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, how can I remember you? That means she is asking about the general public, those who are not believing about Krishna as a Supreme Personality, as one person. Still, how can they believe about, how can they think the Supreme existence of the Supreme Truth? So by seeing a peepal tree or a banana tree, they can understand, oh, this is the opulence of Krishna. By seeing the sun and moon in the sky, they could understand this is also just chakyuresa sabita sakala grahanang, sasisurja netram. They can understand this is the eyes of the Supreme Lord. In this way, whatever the best things in this existence, they represent Krishna. So, in this way, one can understand Krishna. Purport, Śrīla Prabhupada is mentioning, only surrendered souls and devotees can see him. Now Arjuna convinced that his friend Arjuna, Krishna is Supreme Godhead. For Arjuna is no doubt. But he wants to know the general process by which all-pervading Lord can be understood by the common man. Common man, including the demons and atheists, cannot know Krishna because he is guarded by his yoga-māyā potency. And ahaṁ prakāsa sarvasya yoga-māyā samavrito. In 9th chapter, Krishna told, everyone could not understand me. Why? Because my yoga-māyā, I am covered by my yoga-māyā potency. There are two mayas, yoga-māyā and mahamaya. Yoga means to connect. This maya, this connected, the Krishna and his pure devotees, they are under the yoga-māyā potency. Mahatmanang stupartha dvaivi prakriti asrita. Even the pure devotees, they are also under yoga-māyā potency, and Krishna himself also under yoga-māyā potency. But the common people, they are under mahamaya potency. So because they are not in that yoga-māyā platform, they could not see Krishna. They couldn't. It is very difficult for them to understand Krishna. Again, these questions are asked by Arjuna for their benefit, for the general public. The superior devotee is concerned not only for his own understanding, but for the understanding of the mankind. Advanced devotee, he is not so much, he is all concerned about himself, but at the same time, he also thinks the benefit of entire world. Para dukhe dukhi. Vaishnava is always think for the benefits of others. That's why Arjuna is also thinking about the common people. So understanding all the mankind. So Arjuna, out of his mercy, because he is a Vaishnava, a devotee is opening for the common man the understanding of all-pervasiveness, Supreme Lord. He addresses Krishna, especially yogin, because Krishna is the master of all, a master of yoga-māyā potency. Krishna is the master of the yoga-māyā potency, also is the master of everything emanates from him. But specifically, devotees and Krishna, they are under yoga-māyā potency. The common man who has no love for Krishna cannot always think of Krishna. Therefore, he has to think materially. Arjuna is considering the mode of thinking of the materialistic persons of this world. Keṣu cho bhāveṣu. That is referred to here to the material nature. The word bhava means physical things. Word bhava is mentioned here, not the bhava for a devotee that is in a devotional service. Adau saddha tata sadhu sangha bhajana kriya anartha nivriti nishtha ruchi asakti bhava. This is different bhava. But in this verse, this word bhava is used. That is bhāveṣu, keṣu bhāveṣu. This is Prabhupada is writing in Purport. The word keṣu bhāveṣu refers to material nature. The word bhava means physical things. So you want to see the Krishna's opulence in the different physical things in this material world. Because materialists cannot understand Krishna spiritually, therefore advised to concentrate the mind of physical things and try to see Krishna is manifested by physical representation. So in this way, those who are not personalists, those who are impersonalists, they can still realize the presence of the Supreme Lord by his different opulences that is spread in this material world everywhere in physical form. That's why that will describe in detail in the future verses Krishna will tell. But here is we see Krishna how Arjuna is merciful. A devotee should be like Arjuna, very compassionate. He must be think about the benefit of entire world for everyone. He not selfish as thinking about himself. No, devotees always think about others. Specifically those are conditioned souls. Those were even the atheists or the mayavadis, sunyavadis, a devotee even think for their benefit also. Think how these peoples can at least understand the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this way, everyone can make their life successful and attain the eternal peace and happiness. Hare Krishna. Any question or comment?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. The examples given in the 10th chapter, such as of the demigods, I am Indra, of the tree, etc. Perhaps are these examples sometimes limited to India?
Example, the demigods, what are you telling? Limited to India, yes.
If we're trying to preach to, again, as you're saying, this is to help people with an impersonal conception. So we're trying to preach to people like this. Then is it bona fide to make our own examples, or we should just stick to Gita?
No, it is only personalist and impersonalist. Two things I mentioned. That believing in any religion. Personalist means believing that God is a person. Supreme truth is a person, like we believe in Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And those are impersonalists, they don't believe in the form of the God. They believe in just like he is ever spreading, everywhere he is spreading his opulences. He is everywhere, but they don't believe in form. So there are many religions also, like Muslims, they don't believe in even in Hindu, but Gita is specifically here dealing with in a Hindu religion, specifically impersonalist. There is personalist group, there is impersonalist group. So demigods, there is in every religion, there is some sort of, God is one, the supreme truth, and there is also described also this. the other powers just opposing to the supreme power, there is also some opponent powers. In every religion there is some opponent powers, demons, like demoniac powers. So in Hindu there is most spreading everywhere, so many demigods, this, that is mentioned. But in other religion there is also something. They believe also in some demigods, some demons and some negative powers against God. So what is your question?
Can we make our own examples, change the example to help other people, or just stick exactly to Gita?
To help other people, so we have to?
Perhaps change the example that Krishna uses.
Oh, yes, you have to time, place and circumstances. Preacher has to use his intelligence, how to convince the peoples. Accordingly, he sets examples. Every circumstances, the same example, same thing is not work. Preacher has to see what is the time, place, circumstances. How can I convince these peoples? One preacher went to a coal mine for preaching, maybe 2 kilometers under earth. Then the workers were working there. He tried to teach them all these things in the spiritual world, how to return back to Godhead, how to hell, heaven. They told, what is hell? He told hell is just like this. There is no light, all these things. They did not convince. They told, we are already in such a condition here in this coal mine, but we are happy. So then the preacher think, how he was there so much attached to drinking tea and smoking cigarette. Then he told, in hell, if you have to go to hell, then in hell there is no newspaper, there is no tea, there is no smoking instruments. So then they immediately become very to listen. So a preacher is using intelligence according to time, place and circumstances. Goal is different. Goal is one. How to convince them to believe on God. But to come to that goal, one can use different arguments. So, any other question? Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, I have no question, but I mean to say that we should make our habit to remember Krishna. We should make our habit to remember Krishna actually. Just we are sitting here under your shelter. This is the mercy of Lord Krishna actually.
Yes.
We are listening. This is mercy of Krishna. We are getting prasadam.
Mercy of Krishna.
This all is a Krishna actually.
Mercy of Krishna is for everyone. Some accept it. Some
every step we can think actually, remember Krishna actually. We are walking, even then it is because of Krishna actually.
Yes.
We are in the association of devotees. This is because of mercy of Lord Krishna.
A devotee, he always realize the mercy of Krishna. But a non-devotee,
all the time we can make our habit actually. So that actually we may always think Krishna, Krishna only.
Because you are a devotee, you are thinking always Krishna. But yet Arjuna is thinking about the non-devotees.
This will elevate us and will lead to the back to Godhead. So I mean to say this actually. We will make our habit actually. At each step actually. Hare Krishna.
Still we have material desires. Still we have some material desires. Is there. Yes.
Maharaj, thank you for a nice class. If I'm helping out in the morning Mangal Arti and all, distributing flowers in Tulsi Arti, and then that I'm becoming proud that I'm a big devotee.
So pride is not supposed to come. This feeling of pride, you did something good, then you feel, I am proud. This pride is not good.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj, for a very wonderful class. My question is that Arjuna is very merciful upon the non-devotees. He's bringing out Krishna through various examples, through what we can see in the world around.
Keep little distance, Mike. I'm not understanding properly. Huh?
Hare Krishna.
Repeat again.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Thank you, Maharaj. My question is that Arjuna is bringing out Krishna through various examples which we can see around the world.
How can you realize Krishna?
How can we see Krishna in the things of this world? In this 10th chapter, this Vibhuti Yoga. So what we can see sun, moon, and how we can see it as an energy of Krishna. So he's very compassionate upon as you told, that upon the non-devotees. But at the same time, you said that we are under the mayā. So even if somebody shows us we are not able to grab Krishna.
So who are under Mahamaya? Those who are non-devotees. They are under Mahamaya. Mahatmanang stupartha, Daivi Prakriti, Ashrita. Those who are Mahatmas, those who are devotees, they are under yoga-māyā potency. They are not under Mahamaya. Maybe sometimes the devotee thinks that, like this, because it is a humility. But Krishna always protects his devotees. Some other winner may not be siddhas, we may not be liberated souls, but still we are practicing devotional service. So even solpa apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahata bhayat. When Krishna is describing Gita, even little advancement in this process will protects one from most dangerous situations. So Krishna takes care when we are practicing already in the process of devotional service.
So for non-devotees, they can see Krishna in the world, like Krishna is telling in 10th chapter. For devotees, we have to also see Krishna as the 10th chapter says, we have to remember Krishna as his personal form.
Non-devotees, I don't understand. You come forward. What are you speaking?
For non-devotees, Arjuna is asking Krishna to describe himself.
Non-devotees? Yes, for this Vibhuti Yoga is called in non-devotees. Yes, devotee did not like to see Krishna in his all-pervading this Vishwarupa. This Vishwarupa is not for devotees. In general, the non-devotees, those are in primary just stage. That's why Arjuna, after seeing this form, he told, no, please, I'm getting bewildered. Please remove this form in front of me. You reveal me in the form of your 400 form. Then he told, no, in 200 form. Then he become peaceful. So devotees, they don't like to see that form. The Vishwarupa, this is all pervading everywhere. How Krishna is pervading everywhere. This is for the non-devotees. Krishna told, Kala asmin, loka khayakrit prabuddha. Why you are manifested here? When Arjuna asked, he told, I am the eternal time. Kala asmin. I appeared here to destroy everything. Those who are non-believers, they don't believe in God, but they believe in time factor. They believe in death. One day they have to die. Those who perform devotional service, they become very dear to Krishna. Those who did not perform devotional service, then Krishna appeared to them as Kala, death. Just like Prabhupada used to give the example of a cat carries the kitten in his mouth. Play very nicely, the kitten. But when the same cat carries a mouse in the same mouth, mouth feel death. You suffer like anything. Same thing. Devotee for Krishna is very very affectionate for devotees, but non-devotees, for them he is appeared as Kala, a death. Ultimately everyone have to die one day. But devotees did not fear about death. After leaving this body, they understood that I will go to the supreme abode of Krishna, to Goloka Vrindavan. But the non-devotees, they understood that after leaving this body, I will go to abode of Jamaraj, and I will get punishment there for my bad karmas. Okay? Oh yes.
Krishna says samoham sarva bhutesu. So then how this difference takes place? That
Krishna told you should not repeat only first line, second line also you repeat. Krishna, there are two lines in this verse. Samahang sarva bhutesu no me dvashti no cha me priya. Next line. Je bhajanti tumang bhaktya moite tesu chapi aham. This is both line. Krishna told I am equal to everyone, but next line he told, those who are my devotees, I specially take care of them. Okay? Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Śrīla Prabhupada ki